Last year, I lost 7 kilos without going on a diet and without even tracking calories. And in today's episode, I am going to be telling you exactly the things that I did so you can stop overcomplicating fat loss and start losing the weight that you want to as a byproduct of your natural lifestyle. Welcome back to the Mind Body Mastery YouTube channel. My name is Alice. I'm a fat loss, fitness and mindset coach. I help women lose weight for the final time. I spent years on extremely restrictive diets. If you watched last week's episode, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Just led me into a binge restrict cycle. And I had it in my mind for years that all I cared about was abs. All I wanted to do was just have abs and look lean. That was all I cared about. And that was all of the things that I did were in order to look that way. But when you are so driven and focused on just looking a certain way, there gets to a point where you lose hope. You decide you don't care anymore. And I bet that you can relate to this, that you've had situations where you're like, I give up, I don't want to lose weight anymore, I just want to live normally. Because I spent years and years on these extremely restrictive diets. When I finally found a place of peace and happiness in my body and with food as well, where I felt like I just maintained a body I was happy with and I just lived normally, it never really crossed my mind to want to diet, to want to lose weight. I was happy in my body. I didn't actively seek losing weight for over 6 years. So in 2024 to 2025, I started making some shifts and changes in my life to how I wanted to show up, how I wanted to act as a person. I made these changes from a place, not in the aspect of wanting to change my body, but I wanted to change my habits. As I said, I was happy in my body before. I didn't look in the mirror and think I don't like myself. I liked my body, but I didn't love my habits. I wasn't that active throughout the day. I didn't used to have a fitness tracker because I also got very obsessive over it years and years ago. And I just wanted a break. I didn't want to have to track data. I didn't want to have to feel like Ben 10 with a gadget on my wrist. And therefore, as a byproduct of that, I ended up not being as intentional with my daily actions. Now, I'm an online health and fitness coach. I sit down all day. It's also 40 degrees outside. Walking isn't really a mode of transport for me. Yes, I was being intentional with going out on a walk. I wasn't doing much movement throughout the day at all. Secondly, I was constantly battling between different injuries. I was doing CrossFit style training and I had a lower back injury that kept coming back. Every single time I would recover from the injury, it would end up happening again because I was doing movements that were just too uncomfortable on my back and trying to push it, but my body was telling me no. So my training suffered as a byproduct of that, going through cycles of just feeling shit and feeling injured and feeling like I couldn't do things. And I don't track calories, and I haven't tracked calories throughout this time frame of me losing 7 kilos. It wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to be a little bit more intentional with the way that I was eating. Let me explain all of the things I'd done and how I got myself to lose 7 kilos without a diet, without tracking calories, and it being a byproduct of my lifestyle. As I banged on about, I didn't track calories. Yes, I wasn't quite aware of the amount of exact calories I was eating, but because I'm a coach and I have lots of experience with food, I know where I can just eat a little bit less of food, and that would end up making me have a calorie reduction in the day. I was just being more intentional with scrape that load of butter on my toast. Do I need to use the full fat mayonnaise? Do I need to drink the full sugar Sprite? I made more intentional swaps and choices around food to think about, can I eat less of this food and still be satisfied with it? At no point did I cut anything out. I never said no to a takeaway on the weekend. I never said no to going out for food with my friends, but I was more intentional with my choices of just thinking, where can I enjoy a little bit less of this food, still have the satisfaction element that I'm looking for from it. I actually have a lot of my clients that don't track calories, whilst I also have lots of my clients that do track calories. It depends if it's the right approach for you or not. And I help my clients with deciding, is it the right approach for them or not? Because often if you have a negative relationship with food, tracking calories might be exacerbating that. You might find that it makes you feel obsessive around food. You feel like if you have a day where you end up overeating on your calories, that you then go into fuck it mode. Really important to actually be aware of, is tracking calories the right tool for you or not? Whilst actually, yes, it probably is superior in the sense it gives you more accuracy, it's not superior for you if it then leads you to have a negative relationship with food, which then makes you spiral, which then makes you binge eat. We need to get that under control. Remember, you don't need to track calories to be in a calorie deficit. It helps, but it's not the only tool that you can use. So my clients have seen great results without tracking calories, and it works well for them, but it's about finding out what is going to be the best approach for you. Now, as I said earlier, I didn't have a watch and I did think that I moved. I was going to the gym and I was like, yeah, I do move around in the day. My steps were probably averaging around 5,000 per day, which isn't that much. If you're someone who goes to the gym, but then you only do around 3, 4, 5,000 steps per day, it's probably one of the reasons why you might be struggling to lose the body fat that you're looking to lose. Step count has a big impact on your body's daily calorie burn. Adding in an extra 5,000 steps per day, adding to my body's daily expenditure. Therefore, as a byproduct, I started losing more body fat. Working towards a step count kind of needs to be a little bit of a non-negotiable for you. Losing body fat is your goal, and weaving in a walk to your day needs to happen somewhere. My goal isn't to lose body fat anymore, but my goal is still to hit 10,000 steps per day. And the reason why I initially started trying to do 10,000 steps a day, it isn't a magic number that you need to aim for. Just doing more than what you're currently doing is going to be better to give you an increase. But because I was quite sedentary, this was affecting my lower back. My back just stiffened quite a lot. So then when I was training, my back wasn't feeling good. So moving an extra 5,000 steps per day has so much more blood flow around my body. My back is moving. I'm not sitting in one place for long periods of time. And I haven't had any back issues since I started doing this. Of course, that's not just the only reason of why I haven't had any back issues since then. I've been more careful with my training. I've been more meticulous with what exercises I know don't feel good for my spine. Added in different exercises that help me to build strength over my body without needing to do things like heavy back squats or heavy deadlifts. One question that I got from one of my clients recently about her step count was, is it something that I always have to do? And it should be something that we are striving to do. Moving more throughout the day, walking more is going to massively impact your mood, your mental health, your cognitive function. Your digestion will be better the more you move. And I know it's hard if you have a sedentary job, but we need to think about somewhere within your day where you can weave in a walk, get outside, photosynthesize, move your body for your mind, for your body, and also for your fat loss as a byproduct. Now, let me just say to you, all of these things that I did because I wanted to feel good. I moved my body more because I wanted to feel good for it, mentally and physically. I started being more intentional with my food choices because I wanted to feel good. And as a byproduct of these things, I ended up losing 7 kilos. I'm also still doing all of these things. I'm still training in the same way. I'm still doing 10,000 steps a day, still not tracking my calories. And I've maintained the body that I achieved throughout this process. Doing these things. And what happens is often when you are trying to lose weight, you see what you do as a temporary thing to do to get to where you want to be, and then end up sacking that stuff off. Yes, you're probably bored of people saying this, but you do need to make it a lifestyle change. But the reasons behind making this lifestyle change needs to come from wanting to feel good, because you're always going to want to feel good, but you're not always going to want to lose body fat. So this is going to be the driver behind the motivation to act, because we're focusing on trying to feel good. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Come back next week for the next episode.